Lesson number 4 for Sunday, April 16th. Fear God. The purpose of the book of Revelation for our generation is to prepare a people to be ready for Jesus' soon return and to unite with him in giving his last-day message to the world. Revelation reveals the plans of God and unmasks the plans of Satan. It represents God's final appeal, his urgent, eternal, universal message for all humanity. Read the Apostle John's urgent end-time appeal in Revelation 14:7. It says, saying with a loud voice, "Fear God, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea, and the foundations and fountains of waters." What specific instruction does he give us? The Greek New Testament word for fear in Revelation 14:7 is phobeo. It is used here not in the sense of being afraid of God, but in the sense of reverence, awe, and respect. It conveys the thought of absolute loyalty to God and full surrender to his will. It is an attitude of mind that is God-centered rather than self-centered. It is the opposite of Lucifer's attitude in Isaiah 14:13 and 14, when he says in his heart, "I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit on the mount of the congregation on the farthest sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." Instead, it is the attitude of Christ who, though being in the form of God, humbled himself and became obedient to the point of death, even the death of the cross. Philippians 2:6-8. The essence of the great controversy revolves around submission to God. Lucifer was self-centered. He refused to submit to any authority except his own. Rather than submit to the one upon the throne, Lucifer desired to rule from the throne. Put simply, to fear God is to place him first in our thinking. It is to renounce our self-centeredness and pride and to live a life wholly for him. And it obviously must be important because it's the first of the words out of the mouth of the first angel of the three. Hence, we must take heed. From the book Prophets and Kings, page 47 and 48, it says, Christ's followers today should guard against the tendency to lose the spirit of reverence and godly fear. The scriptures teach men how they should approach their Maker with humility and awe, through faith in a divine mediator. The psalmist has declared, Psalms 94:3 and 6, "The Lord is a great God, and a great King above all gods. O come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker." True reverence for God is inspired by a sense of his infinite greatness and a realization of his presence. With this sense of the unseen, every heart should be deeply impressed. The hour and place of prayer are sacred because God is there. And as reverence is manifested in attitude and demeanor, the feeling that inspires it will be deepened. Psalms 111:9 says, "Holy and reverent is his name." Angels, when they speak that name, veil their faces. With what reverence, then, should we who are fallen and sinful take it upon our lips? And from Patriarchs and Prophets, page 252, it says, Humility and reverence should characterize the deportment of all who come into the presence of God. In the name of Jesus, we may come before him with confidence, but we must not approach him with the boldness of presumption, as though he were on a level with ourselves. There are those who address the great and all-powerful and holy God, who dwelleth in light unapproachable, as they would address an equal, or even an inferior. There are those who conduct themselves in his house as they would not presume to do in the audience chamber of an earthly ruler. And these should remember that they are in his sight, whom seraphim adore, before whom angels veil their faces. God is greatly to be reverenced. All who truly realize his presence will bow in humility before him, and like Jacob, beholding the vision of God, they will cry out, "How dreadful is this place! This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." Have a blessed day in reverence for God.